reality. Even as therapists, sometimes you want to run away. Yeah, especially because the expectation is high. It can be tiring, but consistency brings results.
Last question she asked madam was that the child cried. She gave the child food. He settled down again and jumped up again and cried. So consistently. So I'm trying to say maybe food was not his problem.
For the other child that you said, he cries. When he cries, it's a way of communicating hunger, that he's hungry. Another thing we need to notice in these children is that they actually communicate. But most of the time, we try to sideline communication to verbal. Meanwhile, it is not so. I have a child I'm working with. This child does not say jack. He will not say it. He won't say it. But if you give him biro now to say, how do you feel? He write it, I feel very happy today. He will just write it out and then sit and be looking at it. How are you? How was your night? Okay. How was your night on the board? Then he writes, it was fine. It took us a lot of time to actually discover that was the way this child could communicate. Meanwhile, I still struggle because the parents are not taking that. You are a speech therapist. Make the boy talk. Your child is communicating. Let him write. Let's do literature books. Let's do reading. No. So this is part of the mistakes that we make sometimes. If a child is crying and the moment you give the person food, he settles it. That's the way of saying I am hungry. Then it's for you to actually, you need a very close monitoring to know how a child communicates actually. Sometimes we tend to start some things and stop at the middle of the road because we get tired or because we are not getting the magic that we want. And we claim that therapy is not working. Or we claim that method is not. It's just, this thing needs consistency. When you are dealing with a child, you want to be very sure that for this child now, it took me 1 year 6 months to know that is how the child communicates. 1 year 6 months of working with the child to know that is how he communicates. So every child like that, they communicate. Now for a child that will walk up to you every time they are feeling overwhelmed or they walk up to you, you can give them, I don't know, it's a student, I think you know them better, and you can also work directly with the parents because these children spend more time with the parents. There is no amount of time you want to spend with the therapist. There is no amount of sessions you want to pay for in a week. You are still the one who has the child. You are still the one who spends the larger time with the child. And there are several ways that you can help the children out. So making use of all the language learning opportunities that to carry out your daily routines. You are talking with the child. It doesn't matter whether the child is answering anyway. It might not make sense at the start. You make sure you are communicating with the child. Now the next thing is to go to the toilet. Okay, you are going to the toilet. You want to poo-poo. The next thing you are getting ready for school. It's time to bathe. You are wearing your uniform. This is color blue. It's dramatic and it can be funny and it can be tiring. That's the reality. Even as therapists, sometimes you want to run away. Yeah, especially because the expectation is high. It can be tiring, but consistency brings results. So it will take a therapist or a parent to be very intentional to know how a child really communicates before you just say he doesn't talk. And that the child has speech and is not communicating, does not have language. So the child still cannot communicate. When you are able to watch them closely, give them several things. That's why they are your student. That's why you have a direct contact with them. So you should be able to sit and take notes and actually be able to establish that, okay, this is how this child communicates. It might require a lot of trial and error. You're trying this today, it works out and you're thinking, oh, I've gotten it. And then you try it next time. It's looking like the child has never seen it before. So consistency, just like I said. I hope I've been able to answer because I seem to have missed it all.
Thank you so much. I think we have a second question here. Okay, there's a contribution. Okay.
So either the food he gave him wasn't enough, or that food was not his problem. So when he cries, don't always look at food as the first instance. And if you want to give enough. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
All right. Okay, please.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. To just augment what the speech therapist has said to address the first question that was asked by that wonderful parent, to contextualize this problem, I don't know if anyone has shared environment with an individual who are described as the world quote unquote deaf and dumb. permit me to use that word. No, one thing is common to them, like they are quick to anger. And what could be the reason for this? This thing, from my own observation, and then the kind of experience I had at the time, I'll share that with you. Pent-up frustration. When a frustration is, has built up over time, there is a prone, or there is this quickness to outburst. I don't want to use the word anger this time around. When an individual is agitating for something and that thing is not being met, is not being provided. Today, that individual agitates for this, that need was not met. Tomorrow, the same thing. Over time, it continues to build up, and some other things too, like discrimination. People looking at that individual like, oh, you, I beg, you are not a part of us. This kind of thing. And then you see that little things can trigger them. So this goes to tell you that there are triggers in the environment. It may not necessarily even be them, even be that you are not meeting their needs. There are some factors within the environment that contribute to this. You as a parent, you are just to pay that adequate attention to know what that particular child is saying and what is needed to pacify that child. Now, to relate this story, this experience I had, there was a time I went to a neighboring country. They speak French there. While I was there, in fact, that is the worst 4 hours of my life, because nobody understood me. I was trying to communicate my needs to people that, okay, this place, where are we? I was speaking English. They understand French. I was trying to ask around, please, how can I get to this place? How can I locate a toilet to ease myself? In fact, the whole thing, my system became disorientated. That, in fact, if not for the fear of being lynched, in fact, I could have just abused some people there just to let out that frustration. So this goes to tell you that when these people are communicating their needs and you are not meeting it, the society is not meeting it. We are not doing enough in just showing love. Let's learn their language. Their language does not necessarily have to be horror. There are gestures that they communicate. So these things are peculiar to each child. So it is our responsibility to ensure that the inclusivity that we want to practice, the inclusivity that we are championing, we have to humble ourselves to learn how they communicate, how their needs are to be met, and all other factors that needs to be considered. Thank you.